Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. It's a tribe called Dhillon Podcast, or show, I should say. I'm Angie Dhillon.
And I'm Rose Dhillon.
And I'm Alvin Dhillon.
And summer's over. Can we do some sound effects like wah, wah, wah?
I hate this time of year.
Yeah, it's fall. It's September. And the only people that I think are usually happy in September are the parents when the kids go back to school because they get their life back, right? Yep. They get a bit of a routine and the kids someone's babysitting the kids for 6 hours of the day at least. So let's talk about back to school. I actually wanted us to talk about this for a while now, just what our anxiety was when come like the week. All I remember is before we get into our win, 1 week before school would start, my tummy would get into knots.
Stress.
Yeah, like I would be like, oh my God, I was don't want to go back.
I was always like, I hope I get to sit with my friends in the same class. I have to meet all new people again and all. It's always like anxiety. Like,
yeah.
And then if you get all these new people, if you don't have any classes with anybody you know, you always feel like you're left out. Yeah. Or
the kids that they move to another district during the summertime and then you don't know, you have to make new friends. Yeah. That's always the hardest. We can relate because we've been there. But let's get into a win of the week. Please think about a win of the week for yourself, something that went amazing in your week. Al, you.
Mine's going to be an IT tip related one. I recently made a SharePoint site. Anybody that is at work that is included in their office license. And for anyone that needs to always gather information or go to stuff that your team needs, we found that, or I found that everything was all spread out. People always like separate links and it was always in different places. And then I did one myself. I built a SharePoint page and they've made it a lot more intuitive than what it used to be. It used to be a nightmare to deal with. Now it's a lot of point, click, drag, drop. Like things are more GUI based, like easier to use. And I was like, this is a handy tool. Like this is gonna be my win because even now that I've done it, a lot of people are going back to that same site and using it often. They're finding it more and more handy because all those things that we had to have spread out are all on one page.
Built
and you just scroll down.
You
just scroll up and down. Everything's in the buttons.
You built a SharePoint site for your team from scratch.
Yeah. Wow. Like a SharePoint page, which is a site within a site. Yeah.
Look at Al, the handyman, the IT guy, the builder, the tech guy, the rolling that guy.
One of my team members saw that I was doing that. And then he asked if I can do something else. So then I built a SharePoint site for him to do updates. So now whenever the team has any updates going on, to be available to the rest of the colleagues, then we'll have a separate page that's available to external people.
Wow, cool. You're employee of the month, eh? Employee
MVP.
Of the month.
Yep. That's what they call me now. They don't even call me L.
Do they have a photo of you there? Like they probably should.
They have a shrine actually of me in the corner. I may have started it, but people are contributing to it.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. Okay, Rose.
My win is this company that I discovered. I got to share this because I think I talked about the Tesla robot, but this is called Figure AI. And the CEO is a man named Brett Addock, and he is building the new humanoid robots as well, competing with that. And I saw some of the videos of the robots. Whoa, and his robots are learning from each other. So there's like a video, which I'll put in a reel, is the robot's taking the groceries out and it's looking at the apple and putting the apple in the apple. And then the robot next to him is like, oh, okay, that's where that goes. And so they're learning from each other. Man. So
it's called machine learning from each other. Machine learning.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Ant. Mm-hmm. So that is, I think, sooner than people think, because he's already has them in BMW that they're doing very basic lines of work. Right now they go pick up and do very simple. But what he's saying is that we need to put these humanoid robots in people's homes because that's where it's going to learn the most. That's the most hardest thing. So if we don't put them in that environment, but we try to put them in like a box environment, they're not going to understand. They need to be in the actual homes to learn.
They need to interact
and all that stuff.
They need to interact.
One of those robots already.
Food and
buying
laundry.
That robot.
Food and laundry is all that one needs to get done.
I want a robotic chef. Like that's what I want.
I want it to clean, do my laundry, cook for me because I don't like cooking, and then I can just spend my day creating content, exercising.
I don't mind the laundry. I like laundry soothing. I like vacuuming when I see the lines when I'm vacuuming.
I prefer not to do it.
I'm gonna have it carrying me around.
No, Al, you know what it's going to do for you?
Let's go. It's time to go.
No, the robot is just going to heat up your magic bag.
Yeah, it's going to keep it always warm. We're not going to need no heating required.
Yeah.
It's probably going to have wireless heating.
My win is I'm back to working out and exercising. I'm super happy. I was beginning to kind of worry that something was wrong with me at the beginning of the year, and something was wrong. As we know, it was my hormones and perimenopause and aging. And so now it's so
this
true.
This phase of your life has been the whole life.
It's going to be like
7 years.
I don't care what anyone says.
7 years.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. Women,
this is just the beginning.
It's like the dark era. It really is. And we have to find ways. And this is why I'm a big advocate advocate about talking about this in the workplace and just on social media. We have a platform to talk about it because so many people don't make it through this time. I'm telling you, the dark, intrusive thoughts, a lot of women right now are going to doctors and the doctors don't even know that,
they're putting them antidepressants.
And the thing they tell you is when I went at 45 and 46 and even in my early at 43, they're like, you're too young for menopause. And we don't think about that because we think you got to hit 50 or 55. In your 40, the changes start happening a decade before. And it's the most volatile time for women that we just don't have any idea about. So I can start to say that thank you to HRT. I actually I do gratitude to estrogen and progesterone. I don't know if I need testosterone yet, but I say thank you because you're actually building my body back up. So
we say thank you too. So she's not
crazy Ange. I'm still always going to be a little crazy. Anyhow, I am feeling better. I am back to exercising now 3 times a week. I'm eating better. I have more energy and I'm walking and just life's good right now. So knock on wood with that.
And I'm glad that she's almost 5 years older than me. So I get to learn from all of her mistakes and things that work and don't work so that I can make sure that I hopefully don't go through this stuff.
And I figured out, I was one of the really early ones to figure out that it's perimenopause that I'm going through from all the research that I was doing. It wasn't even spoken about 4 years ago.
I never heard anybody in our family ever talk about that.
Nobody 4 years ago was talking about perimenopause. I was doing all the research and I just said that I'm going to speak about this. And the reason people shy away from this is I think especially for us culturally and just women in general is we're a culture of vanity. We don't want to disclose our age. We don't want to let people know how old we are. We think we're going to be forever young. And honestly, aging is a privilege.
And also, I think that they think that women, we know that women lose their libido, but men lose their libido too. That's why it's called Viagra. It's the same thing, but yet we just don't want to talk about it for women. So,
This is the largest women's epidemic. I'm telling you right now. There has not been research done, not enough research done on perimenopause and menopause. But I'm telling you, if this was like if man had some sort of like shrinkage going on with one of his testicles or something, you best believe there would be a cure to enlarge that bad boy back up. But because it's women and because we're brushed off to the side, they think, oh, it doesn't matter. It does, because women are wonderful creatures and they are the reason that there is rebirth happening and that the cycle of life can continue. So we need to invest and we need to advance women's healthcare and research. So I'm
our boys that are good to women are because they probably had good mothers. So it's just as important.
And men need to understand this. I probably embarrass the crap out of a lot of my male colleagues, and even sometimes cousins, but I just want them to know either your girlfriend, your sister, your mom, your aunt, somebody's going to go through it and you need to know how to support them. It could be as simple as do you need me to drive you to your appointment? Just having that supportive network. So as women, we don't feel isolated to talk about when we're having a bad day or that shame comes I don't want to ask someone for help. You have to ask for women. You have to ask people for help during this time. And that's what I've learned is Jesus, just take the wheel and surrender and ask for help.
Okay, this was a back to school topic.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, what?
It is because
back to school,
perimenopause.
No, but do you know
ChatGPT, what's a perimenopause? I can guarantee that's
no, but listen, I'm just saying that. Do you know how many young moms there are probably they've got 10-year-old kids and they're dealing with perimenopause and they don't even know about
it. And also,
that's
it's not just a thing in the 40s and 50s. Apparently, when women go through cancer and they get what's that chemotherapy, if they get in their 20s and 30s, apparently they get through early perimenopause too.
That terminology that probably came from that stereotype when they say, oh, she's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know what it was.
It's a crazy
everyone
time.
reaches that point in time in their life at some point and then
it's a crazy time and you don't even know why. Sometimes you're emotional and you don't understand it because your hormones are no longer there. And you're like, how are you supposed to navigate when, our entire 30, 40 years, we were relying on these hormones to function in life. So but anyhow, that's for another day. It's back to school. It's the back to school blues.
Sorry, kids.
Wow.
Yeah. How can we empower you to succeed this year and enjoy being back to school? One of the benefits is you get to see your friends that you left off in June over the summer. If you didn't do sleepovers or hang out or do birthday parties and, get-togethers, now's an opportunity to connect with your friends, which is always nice, right?
Yeah. I hope so. These kids seem like they don't really connect with anybody.
They all seem very disconnected though.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, everyone's just looking into this. No one's ever looking up. Even on a sunny day, they look up and they look like they're the most depressed human being I've ever seen.
I've never seen so many young kids.
All the kids I'm always
Yeah.
Well, they're afraid.
Looking
Life
at them,
is
like
hard.
it's like they're like stuck, like they're on pause. Like it's like what? There's a on pause. I was like,
Yeah, I feel bad for these kids, man.
Can't
They need to get out.
What was your least favorite part about going back to school in September?
The anxiety of not fitting in, just being accepted, trying to hide parts of myself that I'm embarrassed of or I'm ashamed of. So just, I used to put on a lot of Fair and Lovely, hoping they couldn't figure it out.
Like it's going to work over the summer for you, right, Rose? And explain what Fair and Lovely is
Fair
for
and
those viewers.
Lovely is a cream they made in India for women who have darker skin in the hopes to get them to be white skinned.
Yeah, which is terrible.
I used to put
Lighten
that
your
thing on
skin.
all the time and I just had a giant white residue on my
That's
face.
another way they subtle programming. See that they and it still applies today. That if you're
I spent 20 years Fair and Lovely
Yeah.
and bleaching my face. And then at like 25, I was like, man, this shit's not working. I
yeah,
give
they're
up.
saying the standard is if you're fair, you're more attractive than
Yep.
dark skinned people,
Yep.
which is a load of bullshit.
Exactly.
Al, what was the least favorite part for you?
honestly, it's going back to school. A was like meeting the friends and whatnot, but it was literally just doing the work and homework. And during the summer, we just wild. You go play hockey all day, go out, do whatever you want, stay up late, watch movies, play video games. It was you just did whatever you wanted, and then you have to go back to rules. And who wants to get up at like 7 in the morning? To be at school, you have to leave the house by like 8. Oh,
Do you know what it is? I think that what they should do for kids, like wouldn't mind going there early if I got to just go outside and socialize with my friends and like play versus like class first thing in the morning. Like, your brain's still trying to wake up and you're still trying to learn. Like, and start your day off with like going outside, getting fresh air, like doing tag or like.
But in the morning, most people aren't morning people. No one's to do nothing in the morning.
A lot of people
they just want to roll in and you just want to chill.
Morning people because our
Everybody is
ancestors
not a
were
morning
definitely not. Our ancestors were definitely not morning people. They were the ones that were night owls because our parents are night owls and we are night owls.
Well, forget our ancestors. Our parents are not morning people. That's how we got programmed.
Yeah.
They got us in the matrix. The thing that my least favorite part of going back to school was, like Al said, I'm not a morning person. I just dreaded waking up in the morning. I was like, that's the worst.
And you have
thing.
to learn, right? Like at 8:30.
And we didn't have coffee.
At 9 a.m.
We didn't have
no coffee,
back
no
then.
nothing, no cha, no nothing.
I know. And the other thing that I didn't like is, and I can't say anything about the teachers today, but teachers are wonderful.
No, my teachers sucked, all of them.
I never found not a single teacher aside from my acting teacher. Like the content was draining. It didn't make me want to learn about science, math, geography, or history. Like none of them told the story or curated the content in a way that made me want to learn. I was like, is this what the real world is going to be like?
And I'm going to add, like, first of all, from my experience, like teachers were not nice. Oprah was like, you always have that one teacher that believed in you. I didn't have a single teacher that believed in me. My teachers,
because why? We're a visible minority.
Totally. And one teacher told me, like, you're not that smart. The only teacher that was nice to me and that gave me a chance was Mr. Pingelli.
Whoa.
Look where he is today.
I know, and that guy was awesome with us too. He took us to like P&E. He was an amazing teacher. We were like, this guy's so solid.
Seriously, he was such a great. I got a C+ in science.
He went from like
an F to a C+. That was solid for me.
He was so nice. He came up to me. He's like, brings you up to things, don't want to like embarrass me in front of me. He's like, hey, Alvin, just want to come over here for a sec. So I just wanted to say that in front of everybody else, but just want to let you know that like I know you're cheating. I was watching you, but I'm not going to fail you.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a chance to go write it again. You're probably going to fail, but I'm going to give you a chance to write it again.
That was really nice.
He gave me another version. I went back. Yeah, I see the same answer. I got like 50%, 60%.
Yeah, he gave you second chances. Yeah.
Physics was really hard. And I was like, he's like, but I know you can do better, but I'm going to give you the chance.
But good for him.
I didn't do better. I definitely didn't do better, but you know what? Moved on.
But good for him for not calling you out in front of the class.
Yeah.
Yep. He gave me a chance to, because I failed science and I had him
you
again.
Failed science?
Yeah, I failed science in grade 10. He gave me a chance to redo it. And then when I did bad to one of my exams, he's like, I'm going to let you go study again and rewrite this exam.
But just the way he said it, like, he's like, I know you're cheating. I've been watching you. I was like, damn.
Look at you, Al. You can't even cheat properly.
I was like, damn it. I thought I couldn't see anything from there. He's like, I see the eraser.
And don't cheat. Don't ever cheat because you're not going to get, you'll never get ahead in life.
No, it's not that. You know what? I cheated too. We all cheated every now and then.
I never cheated.
But let me tell you, you do yourself a disservice because at some point you got to learn that anyway. So you're better off just not cheating.
There's some courses I took a gamble on. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need physics anywhere down the road. I was like, I think I'll be okay with this course, not learning anything about this.
Can I tell you, I feel like our Canadian Canadian history classes taught us nothing. Like I did not know so much about the world. Like until I moved to America. Like they did not teach us
also went to
about
school.
the Holocaust. I didn't learn any of that.
Really? We learned all about that.
I learned
That's
about what
like
happened with the Native Indians. I did not learn much of that.
But we also went to school at a totally different time when teachers had to follow a certain curriculum.
Maybe, yeah.
But now if you look at it, like the Truth and Reconciliation, the history behind that, the evolution of like, technology and cars and telephone and just in general with science and tech, it's such an exciting time to be in school.
Yeah.
But I think, we have to set students up for success. There were so many classes that I took and I'm like, how is this going to really like, how is algebra, unless I want to go become a scientist, how is this going to like help me through life? Like I wanted to have like financial 101, like banking, your credit history.
Or tell us that if they pay you $25 an hour and at the age of 16, you're not rich. No, you're not rich, dude.
No, and like when your taxes come out of that, when your money goes to your CPP and you're all that,
make it
what
realistic.
Means you get, you're like, oh, and then what you should do with that money, like.
And if they said like for those of you who are going to go to college after this, and if your parents are paying, this is how much they're going to pay. So like, don't go and just shit the bed and just like not like, do any work and fail because you're only failing if you haven't put the work in. If you actually put the work in, all the knowledge is meant for you to like learn it piece by piece, right, step by step.
Yeah, I think kids, this generation is curious. They're going to ask lots of questions, but this is also such a difficult time for students and teachers because there's a distraction of the digital devices. Like,
AI.
why are these kids on
AI? Because now they go home, even if they have homework, just ask AI to do it for you.
Done.
Yeah. I was talking to our cousin Priscilla and she was like, oh, I told my husband to pick up a UBC sweater because he was going to be at UBC. I was like, for what? She's like, for my son, so that he grows up and goes to UBC. I was like, Priscilla, your son is 6. By the time
She's programming him already,
UBC is going to be obsolete. AI is going to be like far more advanced. She's like, oh my God, you sound like him. I'm like, it's true. Like I can't see in 20 years from today that conventional 4-year degree, which by the way, doesn't really set you up for success and give you a job that puts you in a whole bunch of debt. And I mean, yes, you learn how to study and cram and do exams and all that. But other than that, you don't really get to take away too much from that because except for debt.
But you know what?
I don't think that's going to be around. Job opportunities is when you go to look, as long as you have that requirement of a bachelor degree, then they'll say, okay, you meet these requirements.
It's unfortunate we set that thing. We shouldn't have that role.
That's the system, right? The programming of the system.
Right. Yeah. But see, that's also programming to say that this university is very good and this is why I want him to go there. Go to Harvard.com and order a Harvard t-shirt and he's going big. We're going all the way. We're not doing the small-minded thinking.
I don't think anybody in 20 years from today, my prediction, it is 2025. I don't believe in 2045 that people will be lining up to go to Harvard. I just don't think that.
I think the knowledge landscape will change and it's going to be more of like, they're going to learn how humans operate and there's going to be
emotional intelligence, maybe more.
There's going to be a lot more like changes of how we like earn a living. It's not going to be like billions of dollars are going to online gambling. Because if you look at where the money really goes for like how guys spend it and women spend it, it only goes to a few handful of industries. And I think like it has to actually be like, I think you have to change the humans programming. Like what's making you, this vice has got you hooked that you're willing to throw all your money into this thing here.
And like, if you think about Harvard, like Harvard has more of a name you're paying for, right? Like people who come out of this, yes, they get a high paying job, but you're also walking away with like, remember Obama, didn't he pay off his student loan when he became a president? Like he was saying, I still have a student loan. I was like, dude, you're like 50. What do you mean you still have student loan?
It's like $500,000 to $1 million to go there.
Yeah.
Or more.
Okay. Right now there's this talk. I know a lot of parents have this tug of war with each other. Cell phones, like what's an appropriate age to get a cell phone? I honestly, and I'll tell you my take here. I think if you're, nowadays you have air tags, right? So you can track where your kids go for safety reasons. I mean, I know why parents give them mobile phones, but I think if you're 16 and under, you do not need a mobile phone. 16
is about where it's at.
You don't need exposure to social media when you're 10 years old.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And they shouldn't be allowing it during school hours. It should be from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Lock your cell phone away.
You put it away. If you have an emergency, they have to call the school. The school will get that kid and say, go call your parents or whoever's calling you. But whatever emergency it is, those kids essentially should be.
I think when the kids come into school, the instructor or teacher should be there. Put your cell phones in this basket. If there's a medical family emergency, your parent knows where you are because all of these phones have tracking devices. You know, now you can track them, Google Apps. Well,
especially a lot of the schools in the States, you can't even get in. It's all locked. Was one thing. The school's
but then
locked.
how are these students going and shooting up the school then if the school's locked?
I think in some states, like the Some of the rural ones still haven't done that technology. But I know that where I live, the schools have
it's probably based off your like region. If it's like an Apple region.
And you know what? Actually, that's something that that's good that you both brought up, because let's think about the schools that have had shootings in the States, and those kids that have to go back to school. The amount of anxiety that these young kids are feeling. Your school is a place of education. No kid should be feeling feared for their life.
Like fight to go to school in fight or flight mode, or you're being told like, mate, you have to do training, right? Like how to, if a shooter comes in, what are you supposed to do? Like the fact that that's a real thing that you have to experience, and it's a frequent thing that's happening there. That's even more
that's
scary.
a problem now. And we're not any different now, because I think Canada has had some issues back east in Nova Scotia where there's been some shooting or
mental health, right? When mental health is on the rise, people are not feeling like they're being so they're not getting attention, heard, and like society and life is going by them. They're not getting any help. And what's the best way to get your attention? Go start killing people, because you already know that you feel like you're gonna die soon. Yeah. So it's sad though. It's
really sad.
I think depending upon where you live, also what your climate is like here in Canada, the reason back to school also was depressing. I think a lot of people get depressed is because we get a couple months of sun. Yeah. And then now it's raining and then it's dark.
Rain
and
for
gloomy.
8-9 months like this.
Yeah. Right. So that's going to affect your mood and your psyche and your ability to concentrate. Was there anything that we did enjoy about school though, growing up?
Recess. And lunch, because I used to go run around and do dumb shit. Remember, I used to do that. I used to take these girls that had long braids, and I'd make them stand next to each other when they were talking, and I would tie their braids together so they both pull the other direction. Oh yeah, throw rocks at kids.
How did they not know you were tying their hair?
I don't know. I'm still wondering too. I'm thinking back to now, like they would be standing talking, and I would just be tying their braids together. Their hairs were like down to their butt, and then they would go in the opposite direction, and their hair would. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how they didn't feel that.
Okay, how do you? So here's a good one. How do you deal with these class clowns and these mischievous people? Because you and Al were very mischievous. How do you deal with classmates like that? They're disruptive.
I wanted the attention, right? Because then you get especially if you get the class going and you're making fun of the teacher and everyone jumps on it, then you feel cool too. And you're like, everyone's laughing. And in that moment, they're not laughing at me. They're laughing with me.
I remember the first time I said an F you to a teacher, but I didn't understand the impact. Like I was in grade 6, so I was like 11 years old. It wasn't like today at 43, I understand when you say, fuck you to a teacher, but I didn't get it. Like I didn't have any comprehension of like how in-depthful that was and how bad it was, because you would hear it on our rap songs that we would listen to. You hear this all the time. So I
used to get in trouble.
Dad, I remember Dad's face, and that's when I knew I was in big trouble when Dad came in. And Dad is in with his lip, and I was like, oh, fudge.
Dad was like,
it's like at that very moment, I knew when I got home.
Dad would pinch the corner of his cheek inside of the light, you're dead.
I swear, I will not swear in class like 100 times on the board. I will not chew gum in class.
You had the principal, Mr. Upton. I remember, and I knew him, and then I went and saved you a couple times. And after those lifelines were done, it was like, you're in trouble with Dad.
The best is when you got trouble, you had to go do lines, and then you go there and be like, so what am I supposed to write on the paper? I don't know, Alvin. What did you do today that made you come here for detention? Why don't you write that out? I don't know. Just annoy you. I don't know. And then write stuff on there. Comes back. Start again. I'd be like,
you know what?
I'll be here all day. And you're like, this guy's not staying here all day.
This is such a trip down memory lane, because I was never in detention.
You're a dork.
I always push buttons.
You are a dork.
There's something about
the class valedictorian.
There's something about being the first child. I think you're raised in fear. You're honestly raised in fear. I could never imagine.
Yeah, because you were the firstborn too, so you were raised like those harsh Neanderthal times.
Yes, I was. Okay, so before we wrap it up here for back to school, if there's one piece of advice you could go back and give to your younger self before starting a new school year, what would you say?
Have fun. Don't worry about growing up. Don't worry about all what people just go to school, learn as much as you can, observe, watch people, watch the kids that are picking on other kids and see what you can learn from them. See if you can stop them if you're afraid to stop them, like I was. It's fine, but just observe and just watch and have fun, because school should be fun. Work should be fun. Life needs to be more fun.
And it's okay to be different. Everyone's going to be different. You don't have to be just like everybody else around you. Just because that person's wearing this and wearing that, they go left, you can go right. It doesn't, you don't always have to be exactly what everyone's doing.
It's a short period of your life.
There's a trend with a haircut. Every single person has the same haircut.
Just like the Justin Bieber haircut.
Yeah, then you're like, it's okay. You don't have to follow.
Tattoos everywhere you go now. Everyone's got that sleeve now. Yeah.
My advice to kids would be, honestly, be a part of a big sister or big brother program and develop leadership skills. We need more young leaders to like really be leaders because when you're leading, you can lead by example and your classmates will follow. And I'm going to tell you, all the kids that had leadership qualities, it's contagious. I wanted to hang around with them. I wanted to be with them. I wanted to grow up and behave that way. And it all it takes is one or two students. So I know parents, a lot of times it's like, we don't know what a good leader means, but at the same time, it's, just sitting with your kids and just telling them the little things like you're a star, do the right thing. If someone is bullying someone in school, step up. Don't sit quietly. So that would be my advice is, going back to school, do have fun. Don't try so hard to fit in. Don't worry if you don't have any friends. Like I didn't have any friends in high school. And I turned out okay. And don't worry about beauty and makeup. The beauty standards today are so unrealistic that not even us, we can't, they're not even achievable. Yeah. But like Rose said, just have fun and keep a journal and log. Keep a journal and log the most amazing thing that happened and one positive thing every single day. Yeah. And that's going to get you through the course.
And I want to add one more thing. And when you like a boy and if he doesn't like you back, it's okay. Yeah. You'll grow up and look back and laugh about it. It's okay. Yeah. Rejection just makes you stronger and resilient for real life.
And I always say men and boys are like buses. If that one doesn't come around, there's always another one right around the corner. And, you will find your way. And also don't focus on boys when you're in school and girls.
I think it's hard not to when we're going through our puberty. I think it's just organically.
We're just such a sexualized society now. Yeah. That's why. It's like any image you turn on, everyone's taking off their clothes. Yeah. Put the clothes back on now.
Leave your clothes on.
Yes. Because let's bring back
Use
class.
This.
Yeah, when you go to class, bring back class. Oh my God, that rhymes. Yeah. When you go to class, bring back class. And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Back to school. We wish you an amazing, successful 2025 year. And DM us if there's any other tips that we can provide for you. That's our time. We'll be back in 2 weeks. The Tribe Called Dhillon podcast is signing off. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See ya.